Hello and everybody, welcome to GARcast. It's the year in review 2020 and gosh dang what a year. Oh boy. We look back at all of this mess and we'll say things about it, what we did, what we saw, what we listened to and what we did. So we are, as usual and always, dear Ali.
Hey.
Boris.
Welcome to the annual GARcast.
Hey. Dear Tom.
Welcome to the last annual GARcast, as it seems the world is ending around us.
Awesome.
Tumbling down. And me, Eleanor. So, as I would say, a slight roundup. How has everybody been this year?
Bad.
People keep talking about this coronavirus thing. I don't know. I'm not seeing it.
Oh no, we will get demonetized. We will not get our 16 cents per episode. Yes, it was a global pandemic and everything has gone downhill.
Unless you're New Zealand, in which case you're handling it like a champ.
Oh, we can have a safe travel bubble with countries like Vietnam, which is nice. We won't go to the UK anyway.
Very good.
Why would you want to go to the UK?
Yeah, why would you want to go to the UK?
Full of British people.
Yeah.
It is.
I guess before we get lost in the lovable world of the English in quotation marks, we'll get started. And we joked about this before we started, but let's start real easy. Let's start with movies. Who the fuck saw a new movie this year?
Oh boy.
There was Tenet. I saw that.
How was it?
Bad.
That's straight out the gate. Bad.
Okay, question. Does, what is the name? The Lighthouse count as a movie from this year? Because it came out this year in my region.
Yes, I'm gonna count it as well. That Uncut
Yeah.
Gems came out here like the start of the year, so I'm counting them as 2020. But beyond that, no, I've not seen anything else.
Because those are like the two movies, I think.
Well, I mean, we have the wonderful world of Netflix originals. Who can forget such gems as Spencer Confidential, featuring Mark Wahlberg?
Of course.
I guess I did see the new Borat.
Oh yeah, I saw that as well. It was Amazon Prime streaming, so I could nab that. And Borat being very good, because I really like that he has a daughter character now. And she is actually killing it because she's ad-libbing along, and yeah, they make for a very good team. It's very poignant because it's also it talks about the pandemic because it's like Borat in the pandemic in the US, and there are many things happening there. But Borat was a good film, yeah, it's true.
Rudy Giuliani's Wild Afternoon.
Listen, guys can't even be dudes now. You can't even sexually assault a child.
I can't even reach into my pants when there is an underage woman in the room. What the fuck?
Simply adjusting my belt.
I am merely adjusting
Getting the
from inside
microphone
my trousers.
cord.
my balls. Do not take this audio snippet out of context.
No.
Everything will be used against us.
In a court of law, eventually.
Well, like I said, we've not got much longer left.
Yeah, just that the whole planet will be heated away, and so we fly through space.
Yeah, so they're pulling up our records in a court of law. So like you said, Infinite Stratos Season 2 was the best? Question mark? But here you seem to contradict yourself. What is your real opinion?
Oh boy. Yeah, just thinking. I was definitely in the cinema this year.
I was.
Oh no, but that was just anime stuff.
For Tenet.
It was Kaze-san. That was good. the Germany did anime nights for as long as they could. So I saw anime, the Kazis and the Morning Glories, and that was one of the best the gay I've ever seen. Very good.
The gay.
That is a cute movie.
Yeah, so like I just did a quick Google of 2020 movies, and the top result was Tenet, and then the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies of things I've not heard of.
Oh boy. Did anyone saw the Mulan one? Disney Plus went off the rails.
No.
I could not be bothered.
I will not give Disney Plus money.
Same. They're still holding DuckTales hostage. So maybe I have to, because they're saying, oh, we're not doing Blu-rays anymore. We just want to focus on streaming. And they say, screw you. I want my Blu-ray box of Donald. But I will not get it.
Give us Donald.
If you don't want to release Gargoyles on Blu-ray, I'm not going to give you my money. Or even just DVD,
same.
like just reprint a DVD or VHS. I don't.
Yeah, some of these are very hard to come by. Like, you're just not getting at them.
There was a
There
was a Tesla movie in 2020.
What? Where the Tesla movie?
I mean Nikola Tesla, not the bad one.
Okay.
Apparently,
Tesla.
Ethan Hawke is Tesla. Okay, I've never heard of this.
You've got to watch it for your Serbian pride.
I gotta watch it and like reignite the conversation whether or not he was Serbian or Croatian.
You've got to like take a fork into the cinema and throw it at the screen whenever you see a Croatian. This is like a niche joke that only like I and Boris will understand, or perhaps other Serbians.
Literally, like 90% of our DMs are just Serbian nationalism. Remember,
I still love the idea of like taking cutlery to the cinema and just throwing it at the screen. Probably gets stuck.
Well, that's a thing from
knife.
That's a thing from The Room, isn't it? They take the plastic spoons to the screenings to throw down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Serbians did it first.
Yeah, Serbians did it first though.
we eat with spork first.
Spork.
Christopher Columbusvich.
We discovered New Zealand.
Yeah. The British (Turks) have stolen your future.
Seeing, oh boy,
I'm so sorry to any Serbians.
I'm not.
Yeah. So I'm also looking at this list of movies from 2020, and I've seen nothing of these. Like none of them. Like I've even not even heard of them.
I don't think this list is real. This is like AI generated.
Yeah. Okay, but we could maybe add one that also came out this year, but is I think from 2019, to bridge over to the next medium that is good old Lupin I. I
watched that this year.
Released in 2020. Yeah. Same. So finally, Germany nabbed the license, and they will bring it to the cinema in 2021. But Blu-ray release was 2020. So where we all watched it. And what did we say about good old Lupin I? Who wants to start?
I didn't see it.
It was great. Like,
oh no.
Yeah, it's one of the few sort of like light-hearted movies I've seen this year.
Oh, look at that! There is a
but
movie.
It was kind of like the perfect like Indiana Jones movie as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lupin's always hit on those kind of beats before, but like this one especially just felt like kind of a mix of the Spielberg Tintin, Indiana Jones, and Lupin in like a parcel.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
You sort of get the best of the vibes, I guess, of Indiana Jones, but you get the sort of more spy-y fun, but also the really fun. I mean, as a 3D animation, I guess it makes you think of the Tintin movie, and it's got the fun, bouncy character dynamics and all that. Yeah.
Imagine if Harrison Ford was Lupin.
Harrison Ford would play Lupin.
But like as he is now, like
Yeah, he
old,
would.
doesn't give a
He
shit.
would.
Yeah. He's playing Indiana Jones again, so like I wouldn't put it past him.
Why,
Yeah,
why
I mean,
does he keep doing
Shia
this?
LaBeouf failed, so he's got to keep going.
Boy. I saw Lupin the First as well, and boy, the CGI is just so good in this. Like the animation is so bouncy and flowy, and everybody's just having so much fun. Like even the most like tiniest like character animation, like even somebody speaking or standing in the room, it's just so much fun. And then of course the action scenes just get even more fun because you have like a very noodly Lupin, who's a very noodly boy.
Noodle
who
with
escapes
5
the
O's
good
and
boy.
each one with an umlaut.
And in addition with, of course, like the Lupin typical chase scenes, you get some very cool ones within the little yellow, what is it, Fiat that he always has. As well as like by plane, and then we also have like baddies that get beaten up and beaten, and also ties really nicely into Lupin's past because it's called Lupin the First, so it harkens back to Arsène Lupin. And yeah, so you get everything all in one. So you could even watch that as a standalone if you have never watched a Lupin before.
I think it to be almost be a good introduction to Lupin for people. It's simple, it's accessible, it's like happy, fun, bouncy, and I mean we're getting that French live action Lupin movie coming up as well. So
yeah, and I saw the trailer for that. That looks really good. Like they're going for sort of Lupin the Third vibe as well, because Omar Sy is not playing Arsène Lupin, but one of his descendants who finds the book of Arsène Lupin and then sort of gets cues from that. So I think it's nearly being a Lupin the Third, and I'm really up for that because the French are big nerds, and I think they know Lupin the Third. They are fine with that. I think it's coming out on Netflix soonish.
I don't know if we'll get it here, so I might have to just region swap over to France. I mean, move to France to legally access it.
Oh. Get on the good old digital truck and then drive there.
Drive across the ocean.
New Zealand is annexing France.
It's only natural. This is revenge for the 1980s.
It had to be.
Oh, actually, this Blu-ray is in Italian. This is of no use to me.
Technically, the New Caledonia, which is French territory, falls on Old Zealand, the sunken continent. So we could actually invade France.
Ooh. Just get over there and nab all the anime and manga licenses. They have too many.
There's
I
so
don't think
much
they have many in New
anime.
Caledonia.
There's like tons of anime Blu-rays down in the ocean. You just
Yeah.
have to pluck them.
That's what they were doing in the Pacific. They weren't dropping nukes. They were hiding anime from the future.
Yeah. So I think of movies. Oh wait, I have one that I watched. I'm thinking of ending things. The Charlie Kaufman film.
Oh yeah, I haven't got around
Because
to watching that yet.
that released on Netflix instead of theatrical because all the cinemas were closed. Did anyone watch that?
Nope.
I did not.
No.
I will probably do so at some point.
Okay, yeah. Get ready for a wild ride.
It's Kaufman, so yeah.
It's Kaufman. But surprisingly, my first Kaufman film hadn't never seen anything in before. It's it definitely goes in hard with the social awkwardness that one can feel. Because essentially the story, which is not as easy as it sounds, is just a young couple driving through the blizzard in the snow to the guy's family to visit them because they've never seen his girlfriend before. And just the feeling of just being in a snowy mansion with parents that are just awkward and having to suffer dinner with them, which takes up nearly half the movie, is you're just dying inside. It's just so much death going on. You think, oh god, that had to me the same feeling as in Get Out, where you are at the party and just everybody makes such inappropriate comments, but not inappropriate enough that you could say something. That feeling, but just for half a movie.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And then the rest of the half a movie, then it goes off the rails. It goes in a completely different direction. And then you see, okay, not everything is as easy or as simple as it looks, because there's like a whole frame narrative around it. Not saying what it is, but yeah, I definitely didn't pick up on this the first time I watched it, and then I read a few more things and saw an analysis, and this, oh, okay, yeah, it's one of those you probably have to see it 2 or 3 times to fully grasp it.
That's Coffin's thing.
Yeah,
he like sort of making you watch a movie again and seeing it in the full context and stuff, which is not always the best experience first time around, I guess, but he I don't know, he's got a weird charm. It's his movies do, like,
definitely.
I haven't seen one of his for a while. I've been meaning to watch the animated movie he did a few years ago. I've forgotten the name.
Anomalisa? Was it that?
Yeah.
Oh, I actually saw that.
But I've seen stuff like Synecdoche and his writing credits, and like they're very weird movies, but like there's an odd charm to them, and like kind of like sitting on them for a bit and going, oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I had seen the Red Letter Media bit about it, and they were quite right. This probably only did so well because it was on Netflix, and people can immediately rewatch it or just skip around. Because if you probably would have seen it in the cinema, it would just be like you go out and what was that all about? And probably have to pay and just go in again and then think, So yeah, I think that was the correct way to release it. Just throw it out there and people can sort of prod and noodle around in it and then go, oh.
Well, I guess it's the one benefit over like watching a movie in the cinema, not fully getting it and going, oh, I'll rewatch it when it comes out on Blu-ray. And then like, it comes out on Blu-ray and you forget it existed. So at least people do, like you say, have that immediate, oh, I'll rewatch that later on. Exactly. I'll see if I get it a bit more.
Nice. If nobody has a movie anymore, I think we could maybe go over to anime.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we got through this in like under 20 minutes. I look forward to 2021 where we have even less movies. I'm very excited.
I want Tom to tell me what he thought about Willem Dafoe and the Lighthouse.
Willem Dafoe and the Lighthouse?
It's true, with the Lighthouse.
Bro, I wish I was the one fucking him, huh?
I wish I was the one smelling Willem Dafoe's farts in the night.
Oh man, can't appreciate a good shit and fart.
Yeah, Lighthouse came out on Blu-ray as well over here. It's like cinematic release, cinema release and Blu-ray. I immediately got it because god, it's such a good film. And seeing it in cinema was also definitely a very good thing because Jesus Christ, that sound design when you just feel all of the boot dudes and all of the big horns just on screen, it's like it's really overwhelming. Was really good, and also had a good crowd to watch it with because it was like tiny independent cinema and just like 4 or 5 people with me in the cinema, and everybody just shut up because it was so good. Yeah, it was a really good time. One of the best horror movies the really recent years, I would even say.
No, I'd probably agree with that. It's definitely one of the best, or the most like creative and interesting that's come out in a few years.
Yeah, I can't say I expected to see something like that come out. I didn't get to see it in cinemas because getting out there and finding it in here is like hard enough. Not many cinemas show movies like this here. But there's a really famous sort of popular cinema in Wellington called the Lighthouse Cinema. So anytime I tried to Google to find something that was showing it, all I got was that.
Oh no.
Also, Robert Pattinson DM me. Willem Dafoe DM me.
Both of them. I love how simple, amazing this movie is. It's basically, okay, you have one island, one lighthouse with a little bit of other houses, and with two dudes, and they're on there, and then everything goes bad.
It's a movie about two homies hanging out, and there's nothing else going on. No allegory.
Two dudes in a hot
Exactly.
tub.
Just
5 feet apart because they're not gay.
A movie about a dude who loves cooking lobster and another dude who hates seagulls.
Yeah, that's basically it. It's such an amazing performance from both of them, like Jesus. And then the whole movie is black and white and 4:3, so it even feels more oppressive, like a sort of small scope that you're looking at. It's a really good one. So if you haven't seen The Lighthouse, please do. Definitely one of the best from the recent years.
That and Uncut Gems were my two anxiety-inducing cinema experiences of this year.
Which were both from last year.
Which was a good way
right?
to... Yeah. Started off the year and then didn't see another movie in cinemas.
The Lighthouse, good enough to be movie of the year 2019 and 2020.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
Are they doing Oscars this year?
I have no idea.
Who gives a shit?
It's just going to be like Netflix originals and Sonic the Hedgehog.
Good.
So.
I want to see.
Well, I
I
guess
want to see
Tenet-
best
Tenet,
directing
I'm
go
sure
to
will
Sonic
be
the
there.
Hedgehog,
Me too.
and I want to see best acting go to Mark Wahlberg and Spencer Confidential, which is I don't know why I saw this movie, but I did. It's just Mark Wahlberg getting the shit kicked out of him for like 2 hours straight.
That sounds amazing.
That sounds good, yeah.
Wow.
It might even be better than The Lighthouse.
It's got Post Malone as a white supremacist, so who knows?
What?
Oh boy.
What do you mean? Mark Wahlberg is in the movie and he's not the white supremacist?
Oh no, don't worry. He there is good racism joke.
Oh no.
Mark Wahlberg is a guy.
He is a
He
type of
truly
guy.
is.
New guy just dropped.
New guy just dropped. Wonder what his Wikipedia says.
Remember the section in Mark Wahlberg's Wikipedia that's just hate crimes?
Oh, that's been removed. It's
Yeah,
hidden. It's the
been,
forbidden.
it's been changed to legal troubles.
Me
no.
and the boys walking down the street towards a Vietnamese man about to commit some legal troubles.
Oh no, I didn't know about this, so now what do I do with this knowledge?
Your knowledge on Mark Wahlberg has been updated.
Well, the movie's about like him being horny about wanting to drive a real big truck. Small scale crime in Boston, so
Sounds
Yeah.
kind of racist.
it's Boston. It's immediately racist.
Isn't that where all the Irish people
Oh
are?
boy.
Why? Yes, it is.
Well, there you go.
Okay, I think that rounds up films, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you want to talk about every Netflix original, we can.
No.
Godzilla vs. Kong hasn't come out yet, so there's no other movies I care about.
Yeah, I think the only other Netflix ones I saw just fall into anime category, really. So, yeah. I think we can then continue with anime, and when Masaaki Yuasa saved us all at the beginning of the year, and then it just went downwards. Good old Eizouken.
Iceborne was good.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't
I'm
watch
sort of
that.
caught off guard.
Hot Takey Yuasa series is good, but yeah, Iceborne was really good.
It's really bad because I basically didn't watch any new anime during the year after that fact. I opened up a few more. Hang on, where are my tabs? One of my 1,000 tabs. Don't look at my tabs. That I opened up to see what shows that came out this year that I wanted to watch. So, when we finish talking about what we did watch, I've got like a dozen shows I thought about watching. So,
Perfect.
I also have a few where I definitely didn't finish them, but they were good.
There's this section on Malgraph that's like completion by month, and there's literally no entry for 2020 for me. So there you go.
I just clicked on 2020 and it says you have all of these, but you dropped pretty much nearly all of it, or just didn't rate it.
I watched B&A and Baki, and that's it.
Oh heck, I still have Baki.
B&A.
But yeah, B&A,
that.
also watched that. The new Yoshinari show by the Trigger Lads.
The furry anime.
Exactly, the furry anime. We're also getting Beastars season 2 very soon.
The other furry anime.
Man, the furries just keep winning, huh?
Yeah, they getting all the good stuff.
Good
2020's
year
got
for
some
furries.
people thriving.
So B&A started out fine. The baseball episode is the best, but then I feel it entangles itself in its own themes and then falls flat on its snoot. It just falls over and bam. And you think, goodness, B&A, what did you do? And you just look down and it is rolling on the ground and it says, I don't know. These are my feelings about B&A. It's a fine show, like very well animated. Love the soundtrack, the colors and everything are amazing. But just watch the baseball episode, really, because that's the best. And then the rest is just you really overdid it with all of the metaphors, and then completely lost yourself.
Racism bad. That's my.
Yo, Mark Wahlberg should watch this.
Racism bad is a very good message, but the problem is that all of the other messages around are just, what do you want to say, B&A?
Racism bad, furries good.
Yay.
It was definitely uncomfortable watching some of those later episodes at the same time as the protests were happening, and like the show was saying stuff. Oh, minority groups have an innate violence in them that can be sparked, and it's like, when people are being called violent thugs for protesting like systemic racism, this is not something I really need to be seeing.
Yeah, same. Like the anime just comes around and does the racism metaphor and everything as well. For example, they're saying, the humans say, beastmen are aggressive. They cannot be controlled. We have to contain them and heal them in brackets. And you think, oh god, okay, this is like your standard racism metaphor, and it's very good. But then it turns out that they are actually aggressive and
that's not just propaganda. It is actually like a biological thing about the beastmen is that they are violent, and it's are we really getting into like weird race science? But yeah, I mean, like, it's a good-looking show. Like, I mean, I know that doesn't really make up for things, but it's a good-looking show. It's got charm to it, and like, I think like conceptually it's cool, but like, just like any further than that, and it's
Definitely, it also like came out in the wrong zeitgeist. Definitely, while everything was going down in the world. But yeah, the final episode just really then ranks it up with the big final boss fight that I didn't see coming, and goes full on trigger mode on that, and it was really fun to watch. That really got me hyped at the end then as well.
You gotta fight the blonde, blue-eyed, pure bloodline boy.
Exactly. Punch the aristocrat in the face. I think a feeling that we all may share.
What other anime even came out?
Baki is still Bakiing along.
Sure to be barking.
And it gets even more Baki, I think.
It's always good to be a Baki fan. You gotta know how much piss there is left in a man's body.
So you can escape the dodecahedron, yeah.
Yeah. Also, like, you gotta train hard enough until you piss yourself.
That is a constant in my life, yes.
Yes. Also, if you're, like, in prison and wanna humiliate someone, you gotta piss on them.
Yeah, wait, I'm just taking notes. This is important.
I've also read a little bit of the Baki manga. That's where all of this comes from. I don't know why piss comes up so often. It makes me uncomfortable.
We can guess.
Today on this episode, the author's thinly veiled fetish. One of my favorite screen caps that I've seen.
Thinly veiled is definitely a way to describe Higurashi piss in Baki.
But that reminds me, because in that same wave of anime that came out on Netflix, we totally had Dorohedoro this year.
Was that this year?
Oh, was that shit?
Yes, I just looked it up. It ran from January to March.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
So that, yeah. I remember watching episode 1 and really liking it because Kaiman has the same VA as Okuyasu from JoJo Part 4. So he's like a very precious boy. But I decided I should probably read the manga first, which is what I want to do.
I watched the show and then I transitioned into the manga and then I finally finished the manga.
Nice.
After starting in like 2016 or whatever. I don't know. I think I mentioned it on like the first podcast episode I was on.
Yeah, I think so.
And then I took a break and now I finished.
Because, yeah, what I've heard and seen of it looked really good. Like, apparently it had the people working in the backgrounds who also worked on Akira, the movie. So, yeah, good time. And the CGI was also really neat for what it was. So, yeah, this is going to be my... Once I finish the manga, I'll watch the anime as well.
It was a good refresher of all the things that I forgot about the manga.
And I also still have the big gay for Noi, so that is also my driving force to finish Dorohedoro. Because Dorohedoro has, for me, I think one of the best things that it does, and that is buff equality for everyone. Just everybody is buff. Like, no matter who you are, what gender, what sex, nope, you gonna get buff. And gosh dang, do they have a very good time with it.
People hang out together based on their buffness level. Because there is like, what's his name? Fujita and Ebisu, who are both very, very lanky.
Mm-hmm.
And they are a team. And then there are Shin and Noi, who are both like 6'8" and buff. So that's how you form pairs in this universe.
Yeah, and what I've seen of Shin and Noi, they just look like the ultimate power couple. So I have the big Eleanor Core vibes coming off of that. And what I've read, have the physical manga volume 1. I've already read that. It just has so much like charm and wholesomeness in this dark universe for its own characters. Like, you can feel that the manga and the anime loves its own characters.
What a fun and uplifting universe where even the most heroic characters love to like torture and dismember people.
Yeah, and then they go out for nice gyoza and beer together.
After a nice day of torture.
Exactly.
As you do.
As you do. So definitely Dorohedoro is now on my list of things I want to finish next, because gosh dang, that list is not getting shorter. I think we didn't say actually anything about Eizouken, didn't we? Nah. Because Eizouken, the good, very precious 3 girls make an anime together in high school, and it definitely explains a lot about anime production, as well as what different roles do. Just breaking down to 3 characters and then how they start collaborating with different school clubs. the audio club, music club, then the art club to get their backgrounds. And it's just a really comfy, wholesome show that is also educational. It's a really good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a super endearing show. Like, just a show about creatives is always going to be a good thing, but like especially when it's done this well and this like earnestly.
You're telling me that no one is getting tortured in this show?
There's no piss?
Nope.
There's no piss?
Nope.
There is no
What?
piss now.
No piss.
That's the one flaw.
Dropped.
What I find really fascinating is that it's not a USR original. It's, again, an adaptation, but the man has a way to really make adaptations his own without feeling like oppressive towards the original work. Like Ping Pong and Devilman Crybaby, for example, which were also based on manga. And yeah, he just adds really nice like USR spins on it. For example, that the symbol that they have for their own anime studio just looks like Science Saru with the with the little feet. Like it has little diddly feet and it walks. And I think, oh god, that's so cute. And I think the best thing about this show is has anybody heard the fact how Yuasa got to do Eizouken? Because that's just the best thing ever.
I think I have.
Okay, because it was in an article of like a bigger magazine or site. Apparently, Yuasa was up one night and Googled himself to see what are people talking about me. And then apparently somewhere in a forum, one dude said, oh man, I read Eizouken last time and I think, oh, that could be an anime just Yuasa could make. And then he looked it up and said, oh, that is an anime I could make. And then he did. So somewhere in a Japanese forum, one dude who just made one offhand comment got Googled by Yuasa, and then he went, oh yeah, that guy's totally right. And then he did.
Oh, I guess I know how I can get Yuasa to adapt some manga.
Yeah.
I think you have to browse,
Just-
get on Japanese forums, my man.
Yeah, apparently.
That's worth it. It's worth the price.
Yuasa be like, hey, what if Lion was wiggly?
And then it wiggles.
Then it will.
But I think he stepped down afterwards as, I think, the main runner of Science Saru, his own studio. Like, he's basically, I think, is he retired now or just partly retired?
I think he's at least partly retired. He's not working as much with Science Saru, I believe.
Yeah.
He's Miyazaki retired.
Yeah, he just comes back. He's like a cat in front of the door. He's like, I want out, I want in.
I don't
please.
doubt that a studio will hit him up at some point and say, hey, do you want to make an anime for us? And he'll come back.
Yeah, I think if he has his own studio around, I think he'll be fine. He can just go back if he wants to. But because I'm kind of happy that he's partly retired now, because I was actually getting worried about him. He did so many projects at once. Was just a gigantic pile. The wave surfing film, the
Ride My Wave,
Over the
or whatever it's
Wall.
called. Yeah.
Then he also did just before that Devilman. Then he did Japan Sinks, which was it this year? Or
That was
It was this year, I believe.
Oh, okay. Didn't see that. And then I think a few other movies as well. And if you looked at his Twitter feed, like he was sometimes like straight up depression posting that everything's getting too much and that he's not well and he's unhappy and thinking, oh god.
It's one of those, I don't know how
break.
much it's in jest or not, but he was constantly tweeting so tired or need break. And I don't know how much of that is lost in translation and it is him exaggerating just for like comedic effect, but like I think probably still does come from a place of like being worn out, and I hope he can have a good rest.
He's just being relatable.
Definitely.
He's had like consistent output since like 2014 or something.
Yeah, that
There's
man
like
has
something
been
out
running.
every year.
He's doing TV, anime, and films at the same time.
Just it's so showing that he can just be like slamming it years in the anime industry and still not like be like can't just retire a millionaire. Not like you can do with TV.
Yeah, but I think he's happy now because he's like constantly like posting little iPad animations right now of like stuff he doodles. That seems
monkey.
very wholesome. Yeah, this little monkey and other little tiny figurines, and he seems happy.
USA has merely got to return to monkey.
Nearly.
Then he'll be happy.
No more animations, only cave paintings.
I forgot about the fucking Blade of the Immortal anime. I gotta go.
Oh,
That was
gosh.
this year?
How was that?
I got
It was.
I got like 4 episodes in, and then I forgot, just like everything else I watch.
Yeah. And it also was, again, one of those, Amazon Prime has the rights for that, but then just nothing with it. Because, like, nobody had announced anywhere or something. It's like, hey, Amazon, can you just maybe treat your anime right or something?
Well, Amazon, no one like is like going to Amazon to watch anime.
Yeah.
But yeah, there Hiroshi Hamasaki directing the Blade of the Immortal anime. So you know there's gonna be no fucking colors and barely any animation, and that's how it should be.
This is Return to Monkey animation.
Hamasaki has a style.
Did the new Ghost in the Shell come out this year, or was that last year?
This year, I looked this up.
The PS2
I
one?
watched the first episode. It's the CGI one.
CGI standalone complex
Oh
sequel.
god.
Yeah.
Wait, which anime?
The PS2 Ghost in the
The
Shell.
Ghost in the Shell
Oh, jeez.
with the with that one Twitter artist doing the designs.
Subway commercial.
It was. I saw the first episode and decided to wait for the German dub because so far I've only watched Ghost in the Shell in German dub because it's excellent. Yeah, it does a thing. Like it definitely has some of the writing down, but oh boy, the character designs and the animation just does not fit.
Is this directed again by Kenji Kamiyama, just like the first 2 seasons? Like, what are you doing?
I believe so.
I
Yeah,
think, yeah.
What are you doing,
he's
my
at least
man?
involved.
What has happened?
I simply don't know. Like, you even look at the OP and it just seems wrong because it's just like this big band rap trap thing. I think, hey, can we get like
The sound of the
Oina
future.
back? Yeah.
This is what music will sound like in 2014.
Ghost in the Shell opening is just penis music.
Man, was penis music this year?
I can't remember.
Yeah, actually no, I think it was this year because during Vintage of a Harvest, one of the guys would everyone like had a chance to play the music, and one guy was playing his music out over the speakers. He had like an electronic music playlist, and I just kind of froze at spot one day because like blaring out across the whole winery was just penis music.
God.
I've seen it again like yesterday somewhere. I don't even remember where, but that's how I remembered.
I just completely forgotten about it. I'm glad you remembered.
What was fucking Nokia Arabic's ringtone as well, like this year?
Oh god, I love that that sound so much. Any time like a video can be like unfunny as hell, but anytime it includes Nokia Arabic ringtone, I'm wheezing.
Especially if it's in like conjunction with Peter Griffin.
When Peter Griffin gets hit by the car, Nokia Arabic ringtone.
That should have been the Ghost in the Shell opening.
Well,
That might actually
fits
fit. Oh my
fits with the
God.
graphics, yeah. I called it graphics. Oh no.
We gaming.
The visuals of that new Ghost in the Shell anime could be significantly improved if it just like deep
It
fried.
literally looks like the original Xenogears game.
It
This
looks
is what
like
it looks like.
it looks like the opening of the first season of Standalone Complex,
Mhm.
which I'm not sure is good.
I'm trying to work out which looks better, the new show or that like TF2 game that came out a few years ago for Ghost in the Shell.
Oh god, I played that game. I played a lot with Michael and stuff actually. That game
I
looked.
think I played it for like a couple hours with a friend. It was like that was
Oh,
it.
it was so bad, and like I mean, I ate it because I ate shit because of ping as well.
What if Ghost in the Shell was like TF2? What if the lore was the same?
So Makoto like runs into a room like holding a sandwich.
It just gets bonked in the head.
that's just the meatball marinara meme all over again. Oh god.
When will they make Ghost in the Shell in Source Filmmaker?
Yeah, why not?
Someone's probably made source filmmaker porn of Ghost in the Shell.
They probably have. I can't find this fucking game.
It
It doesn't exist anymore.
no, it's literally been removed off of Steam.
Oh, they literally
Yeah,
have.
no,
Oh
the
my
servers
God.
are closed. I did a big stream with Michael and some other guys as the last day that it was up.
Was that the Korean game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm back.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
We've discovered some deep lore while you're gone,
Yeah.
Ooh.
but you will have to listen to the recordings to find it out. Ha ha ha.
Okay, this will be me sort of in a horror game, just checking the audio logs and then piecing everything together.
Yeah, it's like Bioshock, but instead of like some like weird like, oh no, no, my experiments have failed. It's like me being like, well, when you think about it, the sandwich meme is pretty similar to TF2.
Nice. I think we left off at like Ghost in the Shell PS2.
No, we finished that discussion now.
Okay, you finished it.
We
Perfect.
have
finished
a
it without you, I'm
perfect
sorry.
Pitch for how to improve the series.
Ah, perfect.
And now you have to include the part where you left.
God damn it. The continuity does not match.
I got distracted while you were away, and I didn't find the thing that I was supposed to find.
Ah.
Nokia Arabic ringtone.
Oh no! Here we go.
I just put that all over the screen. One big.
Why isn't this the
This is what
GARcast logo? Itagaki looks at this image like,
Uh-huh.
Does have a point.
This
I have a
this speaks to me.
I have an idea for a new Baki arc.
Yeah, I have something I also could talk about. If we are at this level already, I watched Interspecies Reviewers completely uncensored.
You said you enjoyed that,
Because-
didn't you?
Yeah, it was one of those. Oh man, I'm just gonna start that because
You're a furry now.
yeah, partly.
No, that's
More
not
of
partly.
a monster appreciator, or rather,
The correct word is
I think
fucker.
scaly is the word for that.
wouldn't phrase it like that, but yeah. So yeah, Interspecies Reviewers is basically a fantasy series. Just imagine your most basic fantasy setting, but and it makes a very good point that okay, if they are like different species and different races of creatures on this earth, there must be brothels for each different species. And so we have basically two dudes who accidentally pick up an angel, who is a hermaphrodite, picked him accidentally up and, hey, do you want to go on our brothel adventures? Angel goes, what? But yeah, they just pick him up along. And they decide, yeah, there are brothels everywhere, but yet nobody knows about them or visits them properly. So we should be like reviewers. We go to different brothels of different species and then write our little reports, give them a grade from 1 to 10. And then we'll just pin it up on the pub board and people can read it. And that's exactly the whole series. Like, every episode, they go to 1 or 2 different brothels with, like, other people along. And it's astonishing how good this series is with that. Because it basically goes hard on people have different tastes. Sometimes you will encounter things in your life that you absolutely cannot understand. And basically goes against kink shaming. It says, yeah, like everybody has their own stuff that they like, and like different cultures have like different things, and yeah, you can basically go through all the different fetishes. I think one of my favorite ones are like when even our most dude bros are like irked out, because normally they go like, we can basically try everything, we're like cool dudes. But I think they went to a show where the appeal is that a female lays an egg on stage, like either a bird person or a reptile person, and they wear like revealing bikinis and everything. But the whole audience is like snake people and cooks because you can basically buy them afterwards because like nobody needs them.
I have a mutual who's into that, but yeah.
Very good. That is like a different fetish, and I also love how they're completely different body types than they have, because like this is what they sometimes are guilty of that, but not always. That people just sometimes do monster girls, and it's just, hey, I have this sexy woman, and they just put ears on it. That's the monster girl. But no, there's like different types and different people. For example, in that like egg-laying stadium, where you just have this completely feral crowd of reptile people, and our human and elf just sitting there going, oh my god, where have we been? For example, it says, the star of the show is coming. It's like, it's our beloved idol, the very best. I don't know what her name was, Mizuki. And then a penguin girl waddles on stage. Like a little cute little penguin. And it's like beep, 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 and the crowd goes wild. And then she lays an egg and everyone goes, oh my god, that's the best thing ever. And all dudes just in there, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, so it definitely goes hard on the comedy as well, but it always has this very nice message of, different strokes for different folks. Like, there will be things you will not like, sometimes you will like things, and it's very positive in that sort of way, because they also explain that in this world building, that apparently a lot of people are descendants or belong to succubus and incubus people, so they have like a higher sex drive, or basically need that to be alive. So they have like very little prostitution laws, and everybody gets paid, and there's nothing bad, and it's like super sex positive. So they also had like one where you can change your gender at will, because you get a magic potion, like, who do you want to be today? And then goes like on a very sort of trans-positive vibe as well. I think, this is like good stuff. And I was very, very astonished that one of the raunchiest shows that I've ever seen, so hard that it got pulled from Funimation, I think.
I can't believe they bought the rights
because,
to it.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah, because apparently the manga doesn't go that hard into it, and they just had seen the first episode, and the first episode is relatively tame. The rest, so they were like, maybe this is more than we thought. So this is definitely like, if you are an adult and have like fun about the raunchy comedies and like explicitly wholesome cast, I think this will be fun for you. So you basically have always your three dudes, like small elf guy, like your bearded older human, the shy but very interested angel, and then always a fourth member who comes with them, who's always a friend. Yeah, so we have the team, they go around and they talk about it. And it's a good thing. Has like a very fun OP as well, which is very YMCA inspired, where people already thought, is this a ripoff? It's like, yeah, it really sounds like that.
It's a whole new meaning to Monster of the Week.
Definitely.
So what you're saying is it's a stronger commentary on multiculturalism than BNA.
Yes.
Oh, maybe Mark Wahlberg
Definitely.
should also watch this.
Maybe it'll make him less racist.
I hope so.
Mark Wahlberg jerking off to penguin girls makes him less racist.
Mark Wahlberg
I
would be
like-
like, I'm into egg laying now.
Spencer Confidential 2 hitting
That's at
different.
least better. Oh god, I remember just one that was very good, because they go to a brothel where Cyclops live, like with one eye, and like the lady, the counter goes, which size do you want? And they of course think it would be like, okay, it's a girl's size, or like size of boobs or something, and then the guy already goes, oh, I want the biggest, like the biggest you have. And she says, oh, okay, if it's your thing, then here's your girl. And then we're talking about eye size, because like Cyclops have a thing for big eyes. He has like a girl with like one gigantic eye in the middle. It's like, and like, oh, but yeah, it's like the different things for different people. So yeah, the unexpectedly wholesome as well, and like a very good time. So if you can track down the uncensored version, because there are different versions of it, definitely do.
Lovely.
Oh boy, I have to put that on screen. That is just the cast with Mark Wahlberg. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Squeeb.
Yeah, so Squeebs is like white supremacist that Mark Wahlberg meets in prison. And he's like,
Oh boy.
there's all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to get into it. We could do a whole... other people have done a whole podcast on Spencer Confidential.
Like we definitely have to put this together with the Copcraft of
yeah.
Double
things
feature? I could do that.
need things. Yeah.
Copcraft is a lot better. It's easy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we still have to do our episode on Copcraft.
We do.
Because I think that is definitely important.
You promised we have to.
Yes. Is it have to watch it? Of all the things I see here on my list, Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens was a good time.
Yeah, so I actually managed to
don't know if
catch a
you've
few
seen it.
episodes of that. That's
Very
surprisingly good.
Yeah, because we already had our big Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast and now watched some more. And like Sevens has such a fun vibe. It's just like one of these children's shows that everyone can watch. Like I feel it feels like along your Precure or something, like something that has just tons of fun and like jokes for everyone.
Yeah, it sort of feels a little bit more approachable than Precure. I mean, Precure sort of presupposes you have some kind of foreknowledge of Precure, at least in some regards. But Sevens is just kind of like, come have some fun.
Mm-hmm. And still some of the best that I've seen when it comes to sort of character dynamics and jokes, because you basically have 4 different protagonists. They're like a good time. You have your standard protagonist, but then you have like the chuny dragon lad and the ultra strict student council president and your rocker idol girl, and they make for a very lovely combination. And also the OP is a banger.
Oh, yeah.
I will put this out there. I love the OP and the ED as well. Definitely one of the best for me this year.
Something else I watched a couple episodes of is Gal and Dino.
Oh, that I also want to talk about, because Pop Team Epic is at it again. It's the same studio, and you can definitely feel it.
Yeah, they're having a lot of fun with this, and I'm glad they got given it. This is great. I'm only like 2 episodes in, so I can't say much, but
I think I made it 4 episodes in, but then it was paused on hiatus because, well, coronavirus. I think now it has picked up again. It's such a good time. It's like it's a dinosaur and a gal, and they meet, and now they live together, and that's the whole thing. But it does it so cute with a little vignettes and like live action things, and then it goes into surreal territory again. It's your like Pop Team Epic. It's like different little things by different little studios, so that it feels like a Newgrounds collaboration instead of like a proper anime that comes from one studio.
yeah, in a year where like it's been a rough year. Gal and Dino is just like one of those nice sort of like easy, soothing, fun and different shows, I suppose. Kind of like Eizouken, I guess.
Yeah. That's definitely one I want to finish once everything is out, because it's such a precious little show. What I also love about it is that it has sort of the shared universe of Pop Team Epic, because time-traveling idol Shota Aoi is also in that one. Because if you remember the finale of Pop Team Epic, like you have time-traveling idol Shota Aoi, who is really an idol, who just appears in the anime, and by that I mean really appears, like green screened into the anime, and goes, "Hey, I'm time-traveling idol, and I can help you." And then they help the 2 Pop Team Epic girls, and then slam dunk it back into the finale. And said idol appears in Gal and Dino. Just whooshes out of a time spiral, and boof, there they are. And that goes into a completely different direction and storyline that they probably address. It's like, hey, why is there a time-traveling idol in my living room? I don't know. Yeah, so a big fun. I'm really happy that this like team of studios got this one as well. Because the 2 manga, like Pop Team Epic and Gal to Dino, have nothing to do with each other, but by being adapted by this studio, they are connected now.
And that sort of about finishes up what I watched. There's some other things I sort of saw that looked good, or people told me were good. One I have no idea about. There was that sports climbing anime.
Oh yeah, I thought about that.
Yeah. It's kind of Ali's thing. I don't know anything about sport climbing, but
yeah. It's, I don't know, I remember seeing it and being like, looks okay, and then forgetting it existed, and then it came out recently.
yeah, it's only just finished airing, I think.
Yeah, I remember seeing like the promo images and stuff for it. Although in a year where like sport has been like, well, at least that first half of the year just starved of it. Like,
yeah, you got to find your replacement somewhere.
Yeah.
What else was there? Decadence was something that people told me was good.
Oh yeah.
Rising really loved it, so I said, yeah, I'm gonna give it a check out. I was gonna start doing that probably tomorrow. I was gonna actually start watching it, so good timing for a podcast.
Great Pretender already has a 2nd season, apparently.
Yeah, that's the same guy that did 91 Days as the director. He also did some of the better episodes of NHK. I say better episodes. There's a lot of good episodes of NHK. So that's on my list of things to watch. What else is there?
Same.
Oh, how can we forget about the goat, Gleipnir?
Oh god. Oh boy, I saw I think 1st or 2nd episode of that, and Oh boy, Gleipnir. Is this by the Baki guy? Just saying, because there is like a pissing into another person thing happening, but then it just goes, just kidding. But in the anime, she doesn't. So did it happen?
What?
So
There's some pissing.
Yeah, so, to recapitulate, Gleipnir, a guy, turns into a fursuit, a flesh fursuit that sort of looks from the outside like a big bear or something.
What?
Like a big teddy, but it's like very strong. But he is hollow on the inside, so he needs a pilot or somebody who pilots him. But then, of course, suicidal psycho girl who has big issues becomes his pilot by climbing into him, and it's made very sexual. Insert pegging metaphor here.
It's raw.
Yeah, it's war and pegging at the same time. They're going for whatever strategy I cannot discern. Yeah, so she is inside him, literally, like skin to flesh. Yeah. And she basically controls him and goes very hard on the violence. And he's like, oh god, I didn't want to do that. And then at the end, she climbs out of him and then turns around and says, I got so excited I pissed inside you. And in the manga, she says, just kidding. And in the anime, she doesn't. So what do we make of that?
Thinking emoji.
Jesse, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, so Gleipnir, no. That is my that is my conclusion on this anime. Just no.
That's crazy.
And I know that there's a character called Eleanor in there, and I'm not watching that for her.
Oh, you've got her.
No. No, I have.
We already watched Magical Girl, Eleanor.
Yeah, and they quit halfway through because
Puppies.
bestiality. Oh boy. Yeah, Gleipnir, yes.
Maybe anime is bad.
Yeah. There's a third season of Snafu that I didn't know existed, which maybe I should watch to relive my early days as an anime watcher, but I'm really not interested.
Oh, speaking of third seasons, Aggretsuko got another one, and it was really good.
Oh my god. I've not even seen the second season.
Oh boy. Yeah, I like the second season a teensy tiny bit more because the themes are a little bit better. Of like finding your place and having a partner who respects you. Because 3 is basically more about self-finding and finding a hobby or something outside of your work. But also goes into idle stuff. And there's a very good character in that who's like a Yakuza cheater who wears a suit, but he's totally into idols. And I love this guy. He's like a very big, scary cheater who talks in a super deep voice. But he just really loves idols. So, Aggretsuko 3, good. Can recommend. And I have one written down here that I must talk about, and that is Hypnosis Mic, or Hype Mic. Because this was something I had seen floating around my TL forever, and I was too scared to ask, like, what is this even? I always see pretty boys, but what do they do? And I found out, okay, it's a multimedia project. It's rappers, and before they only had like drama CDs and songs to continue the story, but now they finally got an anime that was also, I think, years in the making. And now you can basically start from the front, and you don't have to look up translations of songs on the internet. And why is this something? Because the anime is by the director of Symphogear and Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. The man knows how to hype. And it's... Okay, listen up, brace yourself. World building. lore. It's established in the first 2 minutes, and you ask yourself why, and then it just continues and never stops. So, matriarchy broke out. We have very strong step-on-me women who control Japan now.
Based.
And, yes, they're very good. They also run around in big coats and big cleavages, and they all have high heels. And they abolished all weapons because weapons bad, okay? But instead, they say because they are the party of words, that words should have the strongest impact in this world. So microphones exist now, specific microphones, hypnosis mics or hype mics, that can turn words into power and weapons. So basically, the better you speak, the more powerful you are. And so, of course, rappers who can speak a lot and very well in a short amount of time are some of the strongest people around.
Oh, so Kanye was onto something.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have different divisions, always groups of 3 rappers who represent different districts of Tokyo. You have Akihabara, one Kabukicho, and the 2 others that I've forgotten. And they basically go into like a tournament arc at the end. And it's like rap battle tournament arc. And it's well done. It's really colorful and it's really good. And they summon their own specific weapons because they're not just any rappers. They're like, because this is like a weapon everyone can use. You have a Yakuza who is a fighter, a police inspector, a doctor, an underground doctor, and my favorite character currently, the overworked salaryman, who is just constantly tired and dead from his work and has like the biggest panda rings under his eyes. But he's spitting the rhymes, and because goddamn is he frustrated. And he's the best pal of the best host in town, who is like this grandiose person. They live together. So yeah, it's like just strap in, have fun. It's a good time. I didn't expect this to be this good, especially with this amount of presentation and hype that it has, with like the lyrics who come flying on screen and everything else. And it's like, and I'm not even too deep into rap, and I like it. It's a good time. Like I watched 12 episodes out of 13. Like the next week comes out the last episode, and it's really fun. It's a good time. Can recommend. That was one of my highlights actually this year, where I was like actually looking forward to what are the dudes up this time, because there's also a group called Fling Posse, who are
Fling what?
I think Akihabara group. Yeah, the Fling Posse. Who have like a little cute cat as their logo.
Right.
The cat with a cap.
Right, settle.
Indeed. And they're basically one fashion designer, one writer, and one not kaiji, who is like a gambling dude. And I like them because they're basically just the fun bunch. Because like, yeah, we live in the creative district of Tokyo. Like we are just one who writes books, one who makes clothes, and one who just gambles the money away. And they're like probably, I think, my favorite, together with the Kabukicho doctor and overworked salaryman. Because yeah, they're like super fun characters, and yeah, it's a good time. Didn't expect that to happen, but there. And if we get season 2, we get the 2 other groups that are still missing, because they're not from Tokyo. I think Osaka and another city. And there we get Kiryu Kazuma, VA, who will rap. And he looks totally not like Kiryu Kazuma. He's like a very big Yakuza guy. Yeah, so I think there should be one for every taste in there. Like different groups, different people. It's fun. Can recommend.
Sounds good.
Some of these boys do be looking good.
Yeah.
Boris throwing
And
it
there's
all
a Tom
away
in
for
there.
some boy.
Yeah, and that also has a tournament arc at the end that is very hype. So, good times.
No, I mean, I'm hoping like cinema, we're getting close to being finished with anime. In general.
I think that the only one I still have is Higurashi. Because I have used this year to watch Higurashi, the old one. Because there's a new one airing right now that nobody expected. Old one, very good. Did not expect this to be because from my online osmosis, I just thought it was Crazy Girls. But there's more to that. Good time. And the new Higurashi is, you're just really trying hard to be Monogatari, aren't you? Because it's just the same character design and it looks uncannily the same. But I have to see where the new Higurashi goes. Because currently it's doing kind of the same as the old. But adding a little bit new bits and pieces in there.
Is the new one based on the VN, or is it like a new story?
Well, because the old one's based on the VN in a way.
Yeah, the old one is based on the VN. The new one is based on the previous anime, but sort of takes different routes and aspects out of it sometime. It's hard to tell, because we are only, I think, 10 or 11 episodes into like a 24 episodes, and really, the thing I hope the most is that they just go full on time travel back to the old one, just go 4-3 old art style and everything, because that would be so much fun. Because I feel that the new one kind of wants you to know what the old one already did. Oh yeah, Boris posted the good lad. Yeah, that's the fashion designer guy from Akihabara. Talked about.
Where's he got maracas on his tits?
Really cool. Yeah. Who doesn't want to?
Well, he means he's got to get him out and shake him.
Yeah. It's the style at the time.
Indeed. So yeah, Higurashi, like the old one, happy that I saw it. A new one, I cannot comment really, because it's hard to find out what it wants to do right now. Because it's following along, but then sometimes mixing up one or two things. Strange. But yeah, need to sit back and observe. I think that rounds up anime for us all, doesn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, look at my list. Oh, yeah, just one that I can say 2 sentences about. Ongaku, Our Sound. Film that was, I think, animated by one dude about 3 delinquents who want to start a band, but none of them can play any instrument. It's a very wholesome little film. That was good.
Nice.
Okay, what should we continue with? We also have video games or music.
Video game. Hell yeah.
Games sound good. We always leave them last. We'll do games.
Game is the thing I have done the most this year.
Yeah.
Gaming.
What have you played?
Some stuff I played a little bit of or watched people play. So I played Animal Crossing on my friend's Switch. I watched someone play The Last of Us Part 2. I've watched someone play the new Yakuza game. I've watched someone play Resident Evil 3. Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil 3 remake, very good. Resident Evil 3 was kind of my favorite Resident Evil already, so I'll gladly take it. I think Nemesis is far more fitting to the setting than Mr. X is. I don't know why he was in the remake of 2.
Mr. X is scary because he has a fedora.
Yeah, it's like, someone comments on your post and you reply to them like, yeah, whatever, virgin, and then you hear a knock at your door.
He's not gonna knock, he's just gonna break through the wall.
Like Bam Days.
Actually, Resident Evil 3 was this year, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was last year for some reason. I played that as well, the 2 or 3 runs. I don't know. Because you can get through it pretty fast.
Well, that's kind of the point of Resident Evil games, is replaying them to get the faster ways through and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that fast, but still, like, even at a leisurely pace, it was like 4 hours long or whatever.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a kind of different type of game design.
Yeah, so far I heard, because I haven't played any of them, that the Resident Evil remakes are very good.
Yeah, they made Carlos really hot, so it's pretty valid.
Ah, very good.
They want to remake 4 next, which is a big task, but
yeah, 4 probably doesn't really need a remake, is the problem.
Yeah,
I thought 4 is like beloved and has probably tons of ports already.
Yeah, 4 is on everything. It's from
4 is like
GameCube to
Skyrim
PS4.
of survival
Yeah.
horror. But I'm gonna play it anyway, so they can give it a try.
Okay, sounds good to me. Yeah, because I think I didn't play any game that came out that was new. So I used all my lockdown time to play Final Fantasy XV.
Oh, you finished it, did you?
Yeah, finished. And it was a mighty good time. It was 4 lads in a car. And I think that's all I needed, because
It's cool that the game's
sitting
finished
at
now.
home and not... Yeah. Yeah, that was the most surprising thing for me, because I looked up then some reviews and most of them were bad, and they had issues with things that I didn't have issues with, because I probably played the absolutely newest version with everything patched and just smoothened out, and I had a mighty good experience. Like, I never ran into any of the problems that one of the others had, like, I don't know, traveling's not fast enough, or like the level curve is not well, grinding too much. Like, no, I had a breezy, good old time.
Works on my PC.
Yeah. I had to play it in like medium thing, because it didn't go up too high. So I definitely did not have the super graphics, but yeah, the base game.
Yeah.
And it was good.
Yeah, I played a game that's pretty similar to Final Fantasy XV this year. I played Fall Guys.
Ah.
Where is this going?
That's it. That's the joke.
Yeah, that's a joke.
It's not funny.
There are 4 guys and they fall down. That's the connection.
That's the connection. This will probably do. I don't know. I think that game's just dead now.
Yeah, the game like had like such a weird like popularity.
Well, because it was
like,
free on PS.
blow up.
It was free on PlayStation with PS Plus, so they got like an immediate like massive lot of players.
Yeah,
That happened.
and then like people got obsessed with Among Us, and that seems to be the game still, surprisingly.
Yeah, I've not played that.
Me neither. I've seen people play it a few times, and it seems like a fine enough party game. I don't quite get why it's like a game people are sinking hours upon hours into.
I'd probably rather play Town of Salem
that
as a
might just
party
be me.
game than that, but anyway.
I don't understand why people would want to interact with other people, so I don't see the appeal.
Yeah, I am a single
just
player
had
gamer.
I think it was just the lockdown appeal, and that you could play it for free on your phone.
Yeah, true. And like even on PC,
Yeah,
it's
I think
cheap.
that's probably it.
Yeah, so this is like reconnecting with people who are also stuck at home. This is how I at least saw it for most people. But yeah, I think the game is also like 2 or 3 years old or something. It just got
Oh, really?
resurrected to oblivion.
Yeah. Yeah, which makes it even more sad for like the Fall Guys devs, because that was a brand new game. Like like Among Us was a game that came out like 3 years ago or whatever, and got a boost in popularity.
Big time. Oh, I've forgotten something I wanted to say about Final Fantasy XV. It's definitely more of a multimedia project than a film, because you need to watch than a game, because you need to watch the film Kingsglaive and the anime, which is like
Right.
which is a 5-episode thing which gives background to every main character that you have. And definitely playing that like made me appreciate this story a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
You wonder, why was this not in the base game? But
Yeah.
it's okay. So yeah, if you watch this, I don't know, play the first chapter, then watch anime, watch film, and then continue. It's a strange continuity, but you may have to do it like this. And then
I love going
the
into
end-
other mediums to get the full story.
It's called the multimedia experience.
I don't care what it's called.
Exactly. And I really liked the whole story, and it sometimes gets into the Shakespearean heaviness at the end. And then fittingly, if you want like an alternative ending or a different thing how it continues, you get the DLC, which plays sometimes within the story and sometimes after the main story, and then there's a book you can read, Dawn of the Future, which has an alternative ending and some unused stuff as well. And I think the true ending they wanted to run with initially. So yeah, it's basically you play the game, you watch the anime, you watch the film, you continue to play the game, play the DLC, read the book. Yeah, I'm currently stuck on the DLC.
Instead, you could play Final Fantasy XIV, where all the characters look like they're pulled out of the animated movie Food Fight. Which is a joke I think I stole from Boris.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the game that people just post screenshots from constantly, and it's the ugliest fucking thing. I don't get it. Why does it look like that? I can't even pin it down. It's just weird looking.
Yeah, I think it depends. Because I started playing because they had like a free trial that I'm still running on. And I think you just have to take care about the lighting and everything, and also how you make your character, because I just made a really big, large guy, and I'm really happy how he looks. He's a very precious lad. Because there are characters that look amazing in this, but sometimes you think, oh, because it's still an MMO, sometimes it's a little bit twitchy. But what I've seen, like also like different OCs from friends, like they look stunning. They look really cute.
It's just the graphical style in general. Like, FF14 fans, I'm really happy for you, but please fucking stop posting screenshots. Your game is ugly as shit.
Man, he don't miss.
I have this feeling you're a little bit angry.
No, I'm not angry. I'm just
upset.
There's a lot of it.
Tired.
The people who play that game just cannot stop posting screenshots.
We will lock your Twitter.
I'm pretty sure when you start playing Final Fantasy XIV, it's something you just don't stop doing, from what I've seen of anyone who started playing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
had a friend who got out of it recently, and I checked their Steam, and they've got like 10,000 hours in it.
That's just MMOs
scary.
though.
It's really easy to get pulled in, so that's why I'm kind of staying away, because I know if I get too close to it, it just slurps me back in, and I'm not getting out.
Yeah, it'll be like Alan is like, hey, welcome back to my second attempt at Dark Souls playthrough. We're looking at the screen, it's like, it doesn't look right, Alan. It's like, well, what do you mean? It's just like Final Fantasy XIV. There's like some tiny cat girl and her giant dude fighting a nondescript dragon.
Well,
yeah, but you're right. I should start my second Dark Souls playthrough.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, have you played Nioh 2, Boris?
yes.
I have seen no one talk about it. Please talk about it.
It's very good. It's, I think, a lot of the same stuff that you get in Nioh 1. Like, it doesn't look a lot better or really have that many new interesting gameplay elements, but Nioh is just, it's pretty cool. It's all very smooth and like combat feels satisfying, and
does it make you feel like Neo?
Who's Neo? From the Matrix?
No, I was like, it's all those like Batman games, like, oh, the combat feels smooth and satisfying. It really makes you feel like Batman.
oh yeah, that meme. I don't think. Wait, who in the game even is? I don't think anyone's called Neo.
Because you're a fellow countryman in the first one.
Yeah, you're you're an Irish dude or whatever.
Yeah.
But in the second one, you can actually make your own character, and I think it's supposed to always be a Japanese person, though. And it's very customizable. It's the only game where you can choose your teeth color.
There's a WWE game where you can choose which of your teeth individually are knocked out.
Also, it does the trope where where the main character from the first game is a boss fight in the second game, and that's always the best.
That's just cool as shit.
So,
yeah.
I would recommend Nioh 2 to any fans of Nioh 1 and Dark Souls.
Yeah, you were on a big Dark Souls like replay run, weren't you, this year?
Yeah, I did Bloodborne and 3.
Yeah, you caught me on a delirious day at work talking about Bloodborne.
Bloodborne's pretty good. I finally managed to beat Orphan of Kos on my own without any help.
I think I called you a coward several times when you said you weren't going to do it.
Yeah, you did. That's kind of what pushed me over the edge. Like, I had to do it.
I did something right.
I mean, the last time I couldn't do it because I was on like NG plus 4 by the time the DLC came out.
Mm-hmm.
So just one shot you.
The boss is also an asshole. But this time I somehow managed after like 50 attempts.
Very good.
Bloodborne is one of those perfect video games. It's just perfect, except for the fact that you sometimes have to stop and grind for blood vials, which is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand what the fuck is wrong with From Software, where they have to like try a new healing system for every single one of these games, even though they had a perfect one in Dark Souls 1.
Do they not do the Estus Flask thing anymore?
It's slightly different in each game.
They do, but it works differently in every game.
But it was perfect.
Yeah, Dark Souls 2, you have like very few of them at the start. And like they're not very effective, so you got to use life gems a lot. Dark Souls 3, you can swap it out, but if you want to use magic, you've got to give up a bunch of Estus Flasks to have something to recharge that.
Yeah, it also does the thing where you only have like 1 or 2 at the beginning, and you get more and more. And then in Bloodborne, it's like enemies drop the healing item, but also if you run out, you just don't have a healing item. So if you're stuck on a particularly hard boss, and you just run out of thing, you just gotta go somewhere and grind for healing item.
It's kind of similar in Demon Souls, except there's different levels of healing item again.
Yeah, I never felt that in Demon Souls because I always had like 200 grass on me, so it's just it never ends. But in Bloodborne, it was a problem for some reason.
Well, because Bloodborne, you're limited to like how much you can carry and stuff like that, so...
Yeah. Anyway, that was a tangent. That game didn't come out this year. But it's true, like, most of what I played this year has been old stuff. I played, like, 17 Megaman games.
Nice.
Mega Man X4 is really good. except for that dub, but whatever. The only games I'm looking at my list right now that I played from this year are Doom Eternal, of course. The Resident Evil 3 remake, apparently. And the Tony Hawk's remakes.
Oh, cute.
So, all of those are good, but I guess Doom Eternal is the only one that's not a remake of a game from the 90s, so...
It just is a game from the 90s.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Doom Eternal is fantastic. It's like the best first-person shooter as far as I'm concerned right now. There is the divisive issue of Marauders. I don't like them, but whatever. I recommend everyone play that game because it's, death metal album covers the video game.
Death metal album cover generator.
Yeah, pretty much. It has a really good flow to it. I kind of like the new combat where it's just you're playing this weird game of chess in your head with all the enemies, except it's like 1,000 times speed.
So it's literally 4D chess.
Yeah.
Speaking
you
of...
You gotta have big expand brain for Doom Eternal.
Yeah, speaking of, there was a game that did come out this year by the name of 5D Chess, which is on Steam. And it's literally chess where you can move your pieces between different dimensions and create new board states. And it gets to this horrible state where there's like 18 different games of chess going on at once, and you get checkmated 18 turns in the past.
That does sound incredible.
It's incredible. It's also very stressful.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Also, for the past 3 weeks, I've been playing this Warhammer 40k Mechanicus game, which I think came out in like
XCOM
2018. Yeah.
Cool.
It came out in 2018 or something, but it came out this year on consoles, and that's been real fucking good. I think it's XCOM. I mean, I've never played an XCOM game. Or it's like Fire Emblem without the romances.
No, by the looks of it, it's like an XCOM game. The way you move your units and like set them up and all that. So,
except you don't have like accuracy checks. Like if you can hit someone, you just hit someone.
Cool.
Very good. It just runs up, bam. That's how I like my strategy games.
Mandalore did a video on this. That's how I found out, because like the Warhammer 40k license has been handed off to pretty much anyone who wanted to do a video game, so there's a lot of bad ones in the past couple of years, and it's sort of hard to filter out which ones are good, but this one's worthwhile. Like,
yeah.
And I'm just seeing that it's on sale on GOG, so if you want to get it for like $12, go ahead.
Yeah, it's also like does most of the Warhammer games like suck ass because they're like Space Marines. Here's my hot take: Space Marines is just shit. Like boring ass faction. Imperium of Man is a boring ass faction. There's like a few cool parts of Imperium of Man, like Sisters of Battle or whatever. Adeptus Mechanicus, which is the game's focus, is like rad as fuck.
Yeah, I mean that's still Imperium of Man, kind of.
They're separate though, so
they're independent in a way.
We won't get into Warhammer lore on this podcast. We could be here for hours.
Oh, that's been my hyper obsession for like the past month. Like I've been getting back into Warhammer 40k lore and just reading wikis.
Yeah, don't fuck with us, Warhammer 40k lore. Warhammer 40k fans, we have read the wiki.
Which one? There's like 3 of them.
Yeah. I guess another game I played, I've just started playing this year, is Umurangi Generation, which is a game from a New Zealand studio, which is a photography-based game. So it's kind of a puzzle.
That's by Tor High Heels does the music or whatever.
Yeah.
The YouTuber.
Yeah, and the I think the game's design was done by Wieselkov, who's an old Dark Souls YouTuber.
I only saw a video by the guy called Nitro Red, was like a very chill, nice guy.
Yeah.
And that looked amazing, that game.
Yeah, I'm really glad he did a video on it because I'd sort of been following its development for a while because I followed Visualcop from when I used to follow Dark Souls stuff more. And it's like, oh, this is cool. And it's set in like, I mean, you couldn't tell it's Tauranga, which is like a northern city here in the future and all that stuff. But yeah, it's a really fun, more unique type of game. And you have the ability to, you know, do the story and the puzzles, and you sort of want to go through, and there's set loops so you can go through and get the best times and get all the bonus points or whatever. But you can also just fuck around and take cool photos.
Because, yeah, it's such a cool idea.
Are you saying that this is the definitive Cyberpunk game of the year?
It actually is. It's far better and far smoother running than Cyberpunk. It doesn't have the shitty Borderlands weapon system, which Cyberpunk 2077 does have. So.
Oh no.
What else is there? I played a solid 5 out of 10 game. Well, I maybe put it down to 4 out of 10 in Genshin Impact. A game that everyone collectively lost their shit over for some reason. I don't know. I think it just was anime tits and gacha. It's like fine. It's ostensibly fine, but it's not a...
Is that the game everyone compares to Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, I mean, it obviously is inspired by Breath of the Wild. Like, you can't hide that. But it doesn't have the... It's more focused on the gacha sort of character building elements, which is almost interesting, but like the problem is it's gacha, so you can't guarantee you have cool weapons and items. You have to grind out to get stuff or spend money. And even then, it's like super limited and not at all like fun. It's not a generous gacha, and you can't do stuff. Basically, you can't really do much with the stuff you pull that's useless. It's kind of... It's not like, say, the Fire Emblem gacha, where you can kind of... The stuff you pull that might be useless in a way, you can use the skills in fun ways. It's like just bad. The gameplay is like fine, switching between characters and co-op. It's like interesting fighting bosses a few times. But really, it's just kind of... It's like... People just lost it because of hot anime girls, and it's like, just chill out, dude.
Yeah.
They do tend to.
There's no lack of hot anime girl games.
There are not.
Like
Minecraft
how
Dungeons came out this
losing
year.
Their shit. It's definitely one of those games where I just heard someone say "gotcha" like the first time, and I was like immediately zoned out. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, I like it. Like, I can see people sort of... It has like the very bare bones elements of Breath of the Wild, but the reason Breath of the Wild is fun is not because you can climb a cliff or a tree. It's like how you can interact with the world and use that to like solve puzzles and fight enemies and do all that kind of stuff. This is very rigid. You can't chop down a tree by, you know, freezing an axe in midair and launching it 300 feet to have it fall on a guy and crush him to death. You can't do you can't do fun things like that. It's limited.
It just looks like you're the standard cute girl RPG to me, so it doesn't have any appeal.
There's some cute boys.
But
there's some cute boys. Well,
yeah, but the twinks though.
No, there's some non-twinks now. They've added them in. They've realized they were missing a crowd.
What?
And, yeah, there's gacha. It's gonna have new banners, new characters.
Yeah, that's true.
We patched in the non-twinks.
Patched in dick.
It's like it's just in the patch notes.
Patched in cock. Yeah.
Put in. Put in buff lads.
It's not buff. Don't get too excited. But yeah. What else came out this year? Oh, Call of Duty, Ronald Reagan War Crimes.
Ronald Reagan, the pronoun respecter.
Ronald Reagan will kill you by they them pronouns. I guess a game that I will play in the future is Crusader Kings 3, but I don't know anything about it yet. It looks fun, but let's have a game. A game that's very cool, but I didn't want to play because I don't have VR, is Life Alyx. Mostly because Half-Life is cool.
Very good things about that.
And the last month or two, like Half-Life memes have poisoned my brain.
Shout out to Kino Fabino.
Shout out to Kino Fabino. Dedicate the episode to Kino. And also just the other guys that do... the guys on YouTube that do the really smooth other G-Man animations and stuff like that. I can't remember. I'll find them. Corey Lados, that's the other G-Man guy that's very good on YouTube.
I finally started playing Yakuza 0 because I finished Yakuza 5.
Just on time.
Just on time for 7. And I'm loving it. Yakuza 0 has like a very lovely vibe to it. This larger than life, money spending Kamurocho, where you just have so many millions of yen in your pocket and just don't care. And then you become a free real estate guy. And this is where I'm currently now. I've just completely stopped on the main quest and just have become real estate guy. And it's just amazing how much care they put into these games. And how now I haven't played like 3, 4, that's the Dark Souls, Yakuza, and then 5, and now 0, to see how the sub-stories get better and better, that they start overlapping each other. For example, if you do sub-stories, then sometimes you can recruit people for your real estate business for that. And then in the real estate business, there's another sub-story where you write postcards about the things you have witnessed and seen in the city to a radio station. So basically, it just now every sub-story has like 2 or 3 different aspects where it can show up again. That's very good. Makes the city feel alive. And not being able to go out much, it's just really good to just walk around the city. Same goes for Final Fantasy XV, by the way. I really felt that. Just being home alone and just being able to drive with the lads in the car. It's like, it got so liberating.
Has anyone played Death Stranding?
Oh god.
Related to that.
Solitaire.
You mean the first Strand type game?
I guess.
No, but I think Matthew Matosis did a very good video on it, so...
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, did I watch that? Maybe. I don't know.
Like, I've seen a few nice videos about it and think, yeah, I don't think it's a game that I will play, but I'm really happy it exists. And like, Kojima has come out, I think, like this month or last month, that he said, he has a new announcement soon. So maybe there will be more Stranding.
It's a game that I think probably would have served better if there hadn't been this weird hype cycle around it, like marketing wise. Like, if it had just sort of dropped, and like, I think people would have been a lot more interested in what it was than like what they imagined it would be from like the weird esoteric marketing. But I guess that's just Kojima. But like, I feel like people would have found the like delivery man simulator maybe more endearing.
You cannot mass market like this is a game about walking.
Yes.
Like,
Which
this
is probably why it had such esoteric marketing, was like, how do you market this game and make it sound fun? It's not like a Metal Gear game where you can kind of do that.
It is literally a walking simulator where like walking is challenging even. But also like sometimes just weird surreal shit happens.
I am obligated to say that I played like 300 hours of Monster Hunter World Iceborne this year.
Ooh, nice.
Which is a game that eventually works. Had a pretty rough transition to PC at the start of the year, but they've done a pretty good job with it. It's a very good expansion. Some questionable gimmicks that have been added, but there are lots of good monsters. They added the monkey, which is always good content. They added monkey twice, which is good.
Ooh.
Monkey and then angry monkey.
Uh-oh, stinky.
Whoopee.
Yep. I think their like end game like boss fights have been a little much. Like, I still haven't beaten the like end game monster. Like, he does so much damage, and it's very hard to like manage him with 2 people. So one day I'll come back and do that. But beyond that, yeah, it's a good game. Excited to see what they do afterwards.
You also played a lot of Hollow Knight. Was that this year as well?
I did, yeah, that was like mostly this year, yeah. I started like last October, but I played like 10 hours of it by the end of the year, and I finished up most of the stuff. I've still got some of the Pantheons to do, but those are a lot. Like, for those unaware, like the final like challenge in Hollow Knight is you fight almost 50 bosses back to back, and it finishes off with like the hardest bosses in the game.
Oh boy.
That game has like an insane skill ceiling.
It does, like even with all of the like the end game charms and abilities, it's still a real task to get that's to get the true ending as well. So like, if you want to 112% it, you need to do that, and it's like even the lower, like the other pantheons are like you fight 6 or 7 bosses, and like those are a lot because it gets to some really annoying bosses, and you have to restart runs, and then like there's like a new boss at the end of all of them, like new for that expansion, and then then it finishes off with a complete boss rush of every boss in the game.
Also, do you want to do like a level where every single wall is just spikes and buzzsaws?
Oh yeah, the freaking Path of Pain and like White Palace are a thing. White Palace I spent like 5 hours on stream doing.
Oh boy.
It's painful. I'm not a huge fan of the platforming in that game, but it was a challenge for sure. Hollow Knight's just great. Like, such a good world, such a good like set of characters and bosses. The combat is so straightforward and nice to play.
Yeah.
And we're getting a sequel soon, aren't we?
Soundtrack slaps. Yeah, Silksong is kind of up in the air. It was like due this year, but I think like because it's like DLC that they're just turning into a new game entirely. So like it is like a big ordeal to get it out. Because I'm pretty sure they're still like a relatively small studio. So like think it'll probably get more news from it next year, given it was due this year. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. But it'll be nice to see. It looks like a complete overhaul of like new like combat system, new world, new bosses, everything. So like it's practically like as much of a sequel as it could be.
Yeah, I started Hollow Knight. I've played a little bit, probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 hours maybe at most. I've beaten a couple bosses. I beat Dung Defender.
Yes.
Dung Defender's great. Dung Defender's so
and
good.
that's about where I got up to. I've just kind of been focusing on other things because this year I've been playing The Witcher, the first one.
Ooh.
Very good.
It is incredibly good. I was surprised, considering the size of CD Projekt Red when this game first came out. This is insane. This game has so much depth to it in terms of story and like quests and like how you go about the world. It's just incredible.
Oh, that's great to hear. Especially that it still holds up. That makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean the combat's a little simple, and the visuals are dated in some places, but the like world design sort of makes up for it in a lot of ways, and in some places, sometimes a day the lighting really helps it out. But the creature designs are great. The dialogue is incredible. The like depth of story and just the different outcomes that can happen at small different stages is just beautiful. It's tons of fun.
Yeah, because it also belongs to my eternal list of things I should play one day.
Yeah, no, this I would put in one of my favorite games. It's great.
Oh, super. Yeah.
Did The Witcher show come out this year or last
The Witcher
year?
3 came out like 20... The Witcher show was this year.
A show.
No, last year, right at the end of last year.
When it feels so far away. Yeah, of the games I played but have not finished yet that came out this year or had its proper release this year was Hades.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I bought that. I wanted to start that later today, actually, because I finished Mechanicus yesterday, and I'm probably going to do that.
Very nice. Yeah, I got the Switch version. I can very much recommend. It runs very smoothly and works really well with the controls. Yeah, it's a mighty good time because it's roguelike that you always start your way battling out of hell, but always get punched back into the deepest depths. But it's woven very well into the story, so that you always feel like you're making progress, because it's essentially that's the story of the game. You're trying to get out and you get punched back every time, and then Big Dad Hades sits there and says, "Oh God, it's you again." But they also have different people you can interact with, and you can I think every character you can talk with has their own like meter of relationship you can fill up with. And as far as I know, you can also have a gay romance in Hades with like your childhood bro.
It's Greek mythology, right?
Yeah, it's Greek mythology. Like this game has like the strongest bisexual energy I've ever felt. Like every design just has so much bravado in it. So there's I think one canon gay couple in there and one that you can choose yourself if you wish to. So yeah, it's a really good game. Super well polished too. Like it runs immensely.
The voice acting is nut. I've not played it, but I listened to I watched some people playing it, and
yeah, the voice acting. Like I think nearly everything is voiced in there.
Yeah.
That and there's this, and it changes, of course, with everything that you do. For example, which I found very interesting, is I think I lost against a harpy or something. Then I come back from the death pool, and then the little sleeping god tells me, "Oh, you got killed by a harpy. You have to remember that," and things like, oh, it just made me think: do they have like a voice line for every enemy that killed you, just for that? It's like, oh my god, I don't know how many voice lines there must be in there, but like even the tiny minute details they can talk about, like how often you have talked to a person, how who you've met before that. Like sometimes some gods will comment on the god you've met on the room before, or say, "Hey, long time no see," and it feels very, very organic. I don't even know how much planning went into that. It's stunning.
Yeah, I was going to pick it up on Switch, which, by the way, I bought a Switch this year. Very nice. I've gotten a good amount of time out of it already. Technically, a game that came out this year for the West is Fire Emblem 1. Finally got an English release.
Oh, yeah. Is it out already?
Yeah, it's only limited time sale. I pre-ordered it and it got released last week before, a couple weeks ago, whatever. Yeah, it's Fire Emblem 1. It's fine. It's not aged the best, but it's fun to have a really good version of it now.
Nice.
No, otherwise, my Switch has been me playing games that came out some years ago. I'm playing Three Houses. I won't talk about that because I could just ramble on for hours on end. And I played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which has a really cool style of gacha system where there's no way you can pay actual money for it, and you just kind of got to unlock the stuff as you go through the game. But it also means like every playthrough of everyone is slightly different as they get different blades and weapons and go different ways about stuff. It's neat.
It's a video game.
It's a video game.
It's a video game. I mean, kind of the same for my Switch. I got, I think, Donut County now. Final Fantasy IX.
I love Donut County.
I ordered about Smash Brothers just last week because I will finally play it. I love this game so much. The Switch is just really nice in making you catch up on things because it has like really nice ports and everything. Looking on my game list, I also have, I don't think it's from this year, Superliminal. That says something to someone. It's a Portal-like puzzle game from first person where everything you have and touch and interact with is as big as it looks to you. So if something is really far away, we can pick it up and then it's really tiny. But if you put it in front of yourself,
I remember seeing
had like a
tech demo for this like years ago.
I also saw that, and then the final game is finally out, and I'm just astonished how well that works. It's really good. It has like really cool puzzles in it. It has like a Portal-like humor to it as well, without feeling like it ripped off Portal. It's really good. Like a lot of eye trickery and perspective noodling. Can really much recommend. I think I finished it in 3 or 4 hours over a few days because you eventually get your brain goes a little bit, oh boy, But it works really well. I can definitely recommend. Like Superliminal is a mighty good time. Oh, and I started Umineko because Higurashi, this is by the same writer, because people have been telling me for many years that it's good, and I should probably start it. So see you all in 150 hours, because it's one of the longest visual novels ever. I think I had seen a very good video by, I think Red Bart is her name, who asked, okay, how long is Umineko really? I think if you completely speedrun it, I think you come out at 70 hours. Normal run with like I read everything is like 100. Completion is 120. And if you would print it out, I think it's like 3 times War and Peace.
Oh my
God. Yeah, there's a lot of reading to do. So
it's like broken up into parts, that right?
Yeah, it has chapters.
Yeah.
So I'm still in chapter 1, and I've played 6 hours. And I think the first game, I think it's also split up into 2 games. So I think it's 2 times 8, 16 chapters. And in the first chapter, I'm now 6 hours in. So yeah, I think that rounds up nicely. But it's really good. It has like Miss Marple meets Downton Abbey type of vibe, because you're basically on a lonely island where you have a big family, where the head of the family, the man, the patriarch, is going slowly mad, like drinking only absinthe and talking black magic, like living the life.
It's just one of the weirder episodes of Midsummer Murders.
Yeah, it really is.
He's just vibing.
And he's just vibing. And he's like a big, he says Western, or basically England fan, so he has built himself like an English-style mansion on his lonely island in the forest, with like a big garden and valets and butlers and stuff.
What a loser.
What a loser, yeah. Could spend your money better. Could just buy Cyberpunk over and over or something.
Imagine spending this much money to be more British. Couldn't be me.
The shame. Yeah, and because he's most likely dying soon, I'm going to assume, because his health is like really bad and he's going completely off his rocker. He has 4 kids, and every one of these 4 has like a kid in itself. So you have like a huge family of like, I think 12 people, like 4 kids, and everyone has a spouse and a kid, and also like people running. So I think like 20 people in this mansion, and I think there will be some Miss Marple whodunit stuff going on. And I like this because it's like on a secluded island. Nobody can get out, nobody can get in. It's like a mansion. And yeah, this will be probably a wild ride, because you can already tell, I think all of these people have like dirty secrets. Just all of them. So yeah, I think this will be a good time, because this is not criticism of the Umineko fandom, but please tell people more than just play Umineko. Like, nobody ever says anything about what it's actually about. They say, oh, I can tell you spoilers, but play Umineko though. Yeah, but tell me what it is. Just say, it's Downton Abbey gone mad. Thank you. Now I know what to do.
It's just Battler crying for 50 hours.
Yeah, it's just a dude crying over 50 hours. So, yeah, I would have actually appreciated if somebody had tried to like sell this actually to me, but now that I'm in it for 6 hours and not even barely into the introduction, I met like every person. I really like the vibe of it. I think this would be good to just play slowly over a long time. So yeah, Umineko will probably take me like all of 2021 to play, most likely.
Looking forward to year in review 2022. Talking about Umineko as the
Exactly.
bombs drop. Oh god. These days you can't even go outside and say you're English. You get arrested.
You do, I can confirm.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Ali. Pour one out, arrested just for being English.
I deserved it.
Kinda did.
Yeah, I think these were all the games, weren't they?
A lot of very recent games here being discussed.
Yes.
Oh, there was the England game this year, Watchdogs Legion, but I didn't play it. I don't think any of us did.
God, yeah.
I saw like 2
I saw some of that.
analysis videos on it, and both went, yeah, it's impressive that you can play anyone, but it's just neither fun nor makes sense.
I think what I heard from it is like you have all these choices for people you can play, but there's still like this very like fixed linear pattern for everything that kind of like removes the appeal of having all these options. But I have not played it, so I'm not entirely
That's
sure.
why I stand by Watch Dogs 2 being like a pretty good game. It's like limited in what you can do, but it's like sets up the situations to challenge you with that. And the characters are sort of fun enough. They've got decent little personalities and quirks if you ignore like the shitty memes.
I wasn't aware that a third Watch Dogs even came out.
I don't think
Nah.
many people were.
Are you trying to be a cyberpunk game in 2020? Bad decision.
You better release early while your game's still buggy. Umurangi Generation just keep winning.
Okay, should we go over to music?
The only medium that has continued unimpeded. Aside from, like, concerts.
Yeah.
No musician has ever gotten sick and died.
I may lament for 1 minute right now. There was no Wacken. The biggest heavy metal like festival in the world that I go to every year was cancelled, of course, due to lockdown. And it would have been amazing because the lineup had like I think Judas Priest doing their anniversary tour, and many others that I was really looking forward to. I think even was it like Carpenter Brut or Perturbator was also there, like one of the lads, and yeah, so many that I thought is why.
No.
Well, you know why.
Yeah, I know exactly why. That's a tragedy. But at least you can keep your ticket now for next year, 2021, which I hope will be happening. But yeah, so no live concerts for me.
I missed out on seeing both Rina Sawayama and Danny Brown literally like a month into lockdown.
Rip.
So I'm not even sure if Danny Brown will come like as close to where I live again. So that was like a real sad missed opportunity.
It was like, this year was the one time I decided to go to a metal concert in like Vienna, and then that was like a week before the corona thing kicked off, and then it got cancelled.
Oh no.
So I guess I'm not ever going to a metal concert again. Fuck this.
Cancelled forever.
I've made one attempt to do it. I decided because it was like Cattle Decap, I think, was in Vienna, and it couldn't happen. So fuck it. It's ruined forever.
Rip.
Yeah, what music was there this year?
I am known Rina Sawayama stan, and like her new album is very good.
That's in the top 5 for me for sure.
Mm-hmm. I guess that's probably my favorite of the year. I'm trying to think what else is probably like on that
Dua
level.
Lipa had a pretty good album, but she's an Albanian propagandist, so we can't support her.
Yeah, that's just against our principles.
Once again, this is just me and Boris in the DMs.
Yeah.
By the way, for the music, I will just sit in the back and nod and take notes, because I just listened to one album over and over because I had a lot of
That's
commuting to
so
do
hard.
and a lot of driving and then no driving anymore. So everything I listened to was Enziferum's Thalassic, which is a very good Viking folk power metal, death metal, a tiny bit thing, which is all centered around songs about the sea and the ocean and ships and Viking depression. And it's really good because they only have one growly singer, but now they have a new keyboardist who can also sing clean. So they have 2 singers now. and they can interact with each other, sometimes as like two narrators or like one being the echo to each other. And it has like a really cool vibe to it. And I really love the whole album. It's like really, really good, like exceptionally well produced as well. So yeah, Inziferum's Thalassic, mighty good album. Album of the year, because I probably didn't listen to many other things, only like songs people throw at me, and then I'm happy about those. But like actively albums, no. Album of the year, Enziferum Thalassic, only entry, yay.
Album
This
of
is everything I can add.
Yeah,
album of the year by default.
By default.
yeah. Everything put out a new album this year. It's, as per usual, it's pretty good. The quality's up. Higgs is getting better with his 3D modeling software. All is right. It's the world. What else came out this year? I guess there was the Weekend album. That was fine, I guess.
Yeah, that was enjoyable. I didn't get into that as much as like a lot of others did. But there's a couple good tracks on there that I'm like. I've played
there was
bunch.
that Denzel Curry Kenny Beats collab, which was quite good.
Oh
yeah.
that came out this
Yeah, that was
year.
really good.
That was fun.
There was some good stuff from, I guess, local Kiwi artists. So Drax Project, LAB 660, but I know none of that means anyone to people, and I haven't actually listened to full albums, so I couldn't tell you if the full albums are good. Oh, I mean, we had Dorian Electra. We have 100 Gex.
Dorian Electra's Gamer Bro concept album.
Yeah.
I
It
should
was
probably
almost-
check that out. I've been on the lookout for more pop stuff.
It's a lot. They went Joker mode.
Almost gave Unk his break, but he blew it. Which is a shame, because the Unk version of the song was better.
Yeah.
All you had to do is not be racist for like a month.
But he hit gamer mode and just couldn't help it.
He did, like, the day after that collab came out. And they just
Unk,
deleted
just say
it.
BLM, like, all it would take.
Hey, someone paid him like $30 on Cameo to say it. So
yeah,
of
but
course
he'd get
pay
paid
us
so much more if he was a fucking...
Exactly.
Yeah, 100 Gex. I don't know. I've never heard 100 Gex before this year, and now it's like occupies a specific like corner of my brain.
I mean,
100 Gex does that.
100 Gex is just, I mean, that's basically penis music.
It is penis music with more
The
distortion.
Charlie XCX album came out this year was okay.
Oh yeah, that's pretty...
Yeah, I've been listening to that as well, because Ali's recommendation.
There was it RTJ this year as well?
Yeah.
Yes, guess that was this year.
There was new Blackpink, which I've never really been into K-pop before, but that had some fucking good shit on it. So who knows?
Oh yeah, I was sent some K-pop music that I actually liked, but now I forgot what band that was.
Oh no.
Wait, I should probably look that up. Wait a second. Before the K-pop stands cancel me out of my existence.
I think there was a guy that like put out a tweet, and it's like someone said like, "Oh, Harry Styles talked about how he's voting or whatever," and the guy's like tweet was simply like, "Oh, how would Jungkook vote?" And the K-pop stands like came into his mentions, and it's like, "I am under your bed. I will eat your flesh," posting pictures of K-pop people dancing, and then he's just like, "Oh, I know how to deal with this." So he made up a fictional pub called the Pie and Nonce. It's incredible.
Oh boy.
I was not aware of
it's
that.
it's an ex-BuzzFeed writer, a British guy, Hussein Kusvani, I think his name was.
Oh, by the way, I found it again. The band I liked was, let me squint, Mama Moo.
Oh yeah, I have
Bubble
actually listened
Booey.
to that.
Yeah,
They're pretty fun. Bubble Booey.
Bubbly bubble.
Big
Now,
Mommy
Mama
Milkers. Booba.
Booba. Speaking of Booba, a friend of mine gave me one of his like, this is insane, he has Spear fake granddaughter accounts. I'm like, maybe I can read the story finally. He's like, yeah, I'll give you one of my accounts. This is my titty account. So it's got like every big titty servant on it. So it's like, oh, righto.
Was that this year or last year? Oh god. But I went on a farming spree for Fate Grand Order because I wanted Napoleon. and I saved up, I think, for the last 2 or 3 years. And Ben just blasted, I think, like 400 gems on him, which I thankfully had because I saved 800. But I did the math in my head, like if I hadn't saved up and would have been like a nice little grinder, I would have spent like $300 on this guy. So thank goodness I did not impulse buy a lot of things and just saved up like a nice person. But damn, like if I really want, and my timeline was in agony because there were like people who spent like 800, 900 gems on this guy and just didn't get him because
rates are low on Fate. Yeah,
the drop rates are 0.07% or something.
Jesus.
Yeah. And
So wait, so do you spend like 1 gem to get 1 roll?
30.
Or
It's 30 gems for 11 rolls or whatever, isn't it?
exactly. For 34, 11 or 10. But one of them is guaranteed to be of a rarer quality. But the problem is it also can be like a rare equipment. So that is of absolutely no use to anyone.
Some of them are, but like you only need like 1 or 2.
Some of them are. Yeah, so you can just go on a shopping spree and just never look back. So Fate, be careful if you are like prone to gambling or spending money, because I saw that with my own 2 eyes.
It is predatory.
Because if you buy actively the gems, I think 1 roll with 13 gems costs like 20 euros.
What?
Yeah, if you look up the prices of the quartz if you want to buy them. So new.
Okay.
I could have like 2 whole like really nice meals for 20 euro.
Yeah, it's something really nice. I'll probably go to my local ramen place and get like 2 big ramen bowls. Or get some JPEGs instead.
JPEGs that you don't even want.
The wrong
JPEGs you don't even
JPEG.
want or need.
Not again. Go onto Google Images and clicking fuck my shit up and it just downloads random pictures to my computer.
So what you're saying is that is not your favorite music album of the year?
No.
Gacha Games worst EP I've played.
I mean, I can do like the usual quick rundown of all the metal shit that I listen to.
Oh, please do.
Sure, that's always good.
Because that's.
So I need to write all of them down because I can trust the Boris taste.
Oh, not us, huh?
Well,
yes, everyone.
For every single metal album you listen to, you have to listen to a 100 Gex song.
Okay. I'll stream myself doing that.
That's only a fair exchange. So this year I've been getting back into death metal primarily because there was like a 4 or 5 year phase in my life where I just couldn't get into death metal at all for some reason. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I think the album that kind of kicked this off was Endless Wound by Black Curse, which came out this year and is probably like either my favorite or my second favorite album of the year. That's just a death metal perfection, like just enough riffs in a song, like more riffs in a song than some bands have in their entire careers, and production that is stuck like at the perfect intersection of you can hear every instrument, but also it sounds kind of like rough and dirty at the same time, which sounds like paradoxical, but it can be done. And then you have the singer, which is also stand out because the man sounds completely unhinged. He's just like screeching, and it's fantastic. Apparently this is like some kind of what do you call it, like a super band, because all the members are in other stuff, but this is their debut album. Yeah, Endless Wound by Black Curse, really good. Also, I hope they put out some merch soon. There is none, but I want a shirt or some shit.
That cover is super
The
good.
cover is super good. It looks like a demon shitting out of the window.
Did you post this one to Twitter?
Probably.
I think I saw that.
I mean, I posted like the chart of like my favorite stuff recently, and that's definitely on there. The other favorite album of the year for me was The Great Flood by Rope Sect, which is the band I'm standing.
Mm-hmm.
I hope
I listened to that album the other night. It's very good.
Yeah, it's not really metal, I guess. It's more like some kind of post-punk goth rock thing.
Yo.
These dudes have such a knack for songwriting. Like every single song they've put out so far, which I guess is like 2 albums worth of material. Like they're pretty new still, but every single thing is like always like super catchy to me, and I end up listening to it on repeat. And it's like also in a good place where it's not too depressing, despite being the goth thing. Judicator, Let There Be Nothing, that's a good power metal album.
Very good.
Concept album about that one dude, what's he called? Belisarius.
Oh, the Roman general?
Yeah.
Byzantine general, sorry.
Yeah. They're always doing like historical concept albums. And yeah, just one of the best power metal bands recently. What else do I got? There's been some stuff by like bands I already like. New stuff like Unleash the Archers has a new album, and Black Dahlia Murder.
I completely missed those. Heck.
Igor has a good new album.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Oh, I forgot about that.
There is I don't know how to pronounce this. It's Xibalba with Anos en Infierno. It's probably a butchered Spanish pronunciation, but that's a good death metal hardcore band. Very, very angry. Oh, fuck, I forgot. Yeah, Angst put out a new album. That's like Summits of Despondency is the most radical, ripping, anti-fash hardcore leftist band.
Right next to the Venga Boys.
Very good.
Exactly. I love it when my black metal is not racist, even though they're not really doing black metal anymore anyway, so it's more like a crust metalcore type of thing. And yeah, if you're into dad rock, you should check out True Bearings by Freeways. That's a cute little band with a lot of catchy songs.
Are they real dads or are they fake dads?
I'm not sure if they have children, if that's what you're asking.
You don't need to have children to be a dad. I have adopted a child in my life.
They're a dad mode as far as their music goes. It sounds like something from the 70s, like a rock album from
nice.
the 70s. Yeah, and the last thing I added to my playlist just a couple of days ago was by Tigran Hamasyan, which is just a jazz piano album. I don't know if it's good yet, but his past stuff was pretty good, so yeah, there you go. Also, yeah, one last thing. The band with the best name this year is 200 Stab Wounds. They released an EP, and that's very fun. Caveman death metal, which is exactly the vibe of death metal I've been enjoying all year. I don't want technicality. I don't want your shit to sound clean. I just want to go monkey mode and like fucking wedge out to some sick simplistic riffs.
Very good.
So there you go. That's my list.
The epitome of do you want to go ape shit?
Yeah. Are you tired of being nice? Don't you just want to go ape shit? Do you just want to go caveman mode? Then listen to the EP by 200 Stab Wounds.
What a sales pitch.
What a specific number of stab wounds.
200. Not one more? Not
Is
one
it a
less.
reference to some serial killer or something?
I don't know. Probably. Maybe it's a reference to Varg. Who knows?
Is that the guy that's posting?
Mm-hmm.
He sure posts.
That's the guy
He's
who's
usually posting.
that's the guy who's unironically been owned by like what was it, like Ligma or whatever.
Yeah, he got
He
both.
was both,
Yeah,
Yeah, both.
he's an old man, I guess.
Oh yeah.
He's out there living in the French woods somewhere, being racist. I don't know.
But he has to live with the knowledge he's been Beaufort now. So
For all our listeners not knowing what's going on, watch Lots of Chaos. Good movie. That explains exactly what the heck has been going on, but strange, what were they? Black metal
Yeah.
bands from Norway who were turned very racist and very violent in the 90s.
Oh, they still are, but yeah, 90s
They
was the
still
peak
are.
of it.
But yeah, then people got killed, people got arrested, and
Churches got burned.
Churches got burned. Very big mess. And the film, even though not 100% accurate, still shows the time period really well, what happened there. And as you can probably imagine, in the 90s, that's not that long ago. Like, some of these people are still alive and still out there, and you wonder to yourself, why? Lots of Chaos, good film. All the content warnings, but good film.
I guess I can rattle off some as well. Trying to think what metal albums I listened to that Boris didn't mention. I like the new Code Orange.
Oh yeah.
Code Orange was great. I think it's probably my favourite metal album of the year. I like what's it called? Duma. It's by a Nairobi metal group or metal duo. It's like
Sounds good.
super like oppressive. Like it's
like electronic grindcore type of thing.
yeah. I like the Imperial Triumphant album.
Yeah.
That was good. I like the barbershop section. That was a moment. You mentioned New Black Dahlia. That was good. For like rap stuff, the new Open Mike Eagle is pretty good. There's a line where he says it's October and I'm tired, and I've just felt that a lot.
New Kid Cudi this year as well is actually very good.
Oh yeah, that
He's
came
really
out.
come back from a speeding bullet to heaven.
Yeah, Fontano gave it like a 7 or something now, which is
Which is basically like
the biggest jump up
massive praise after.
in points between two albums or whatever.
Yeah, from zero.
Well, yeah. I mean, he went from like Speeding Bullet to Heaven to that collab he did with
Kidsy
Kanye.
Ghost with,
Fantastic
yeah.
10. So Kidsy Ghost, yeah. So like the biggest spectrum there. New Freddie Gibbs is really good. Freddie Gibbs is always just like consistent. Like everything he puts out is
Yeah, very
typically
good.
really good. Clipping released another set of industrial horrorcore bangers.
Anyone listen to Bring Me the Horizon?
Oh yeah, they released like an EP, didn't they?
Yeah. They have gone full nu metal, and this thing is produced by Mick Gordon of Doom soundtrack fame.
Oh hell yeah!
It has a baby metal feature on there.
Oh my god,
Oh boy.
it's so good.
AC/DC Porno album, and it sounds like AC/DC.
Akadaka sure sounds like Akadaka. In brackets, shit.
Oh yeah, there was a new System of Down
Yes.
Oh
singles
yeah.
as well this year. So hopefully
that
that's leading up to an album.
I think it was mostly
That'd be cool.
inspired by the Armenian Azerbaijani conflict. Because the lead singer is Armenian, isn't he?
I think they all are.
Yes.
Oh, they all are. Okay.
But yeah, those singles were good. So I definitely like to hear more. Good that they've still got it, especially.
The band most misunderstood by some people.
Yeah.
Well, they're not Rage Against the Machine.
Killing in the name of what, though?
What else came out? The duo that did the Eizouken OP released an album, and they basically released an album of like songs on par with that OP. So like, if you like the Eizouken OP, listen to that.
Nice.
Maze, I think it's called, by Kamiko. Harry and Emery released an EP that was really good. Christian Atunde Adjua released like a live recontextualization of some older songs that was really nice. He's always a really good jazz musician. And Thundercat released an album that was kind of understated, but like it's what you expect from a Thundercat album. So
what was there was enjoyable.
good.
So
That's good.
this didn't want to come out this year, but I just wanted to drop like the hottest diss track of the last like several decades. Everyone needs to read Boris and mine's DMs.
No, they really shouldn't, but this song has a sick beat though.
I've listened to a prestigious amount of Eurobeat remixes this year, most notably by a guy called Turbo on YouTube, who did the ABBA Gimme 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 Eurobeat remix, which is constantly removed by copyright, but is probably one of the hardest bangers I've heard this year. But also, I've started following Dave Rogers on Instagram, and Dave Rogers is basically the guy who wrote all the Initial D songs. Like, I think Running in the 90s is by him, and a few others, like, really good. And the guy is starting to make music again. And also, like, proper Eurobeat originals and remixes. And just, I think, last month or so, yes, he straight up dropped a Neon Genesis Evangelion Eurobeat. He somehow got the official rights to do. Yeah, and that was really, really fun. So, yeah, Dave Rogers, the Eurobeat lad, is up to things.
Damn, no one can license Evangelion to make like a good property with it, but they can license it to make Eurobeat, which is an interesting situation.
Are you saying Eurobeat is not good? What are you implying?
I'm implying that the rebuild movies should stop.
There's still one left, so I think hopefully then it's over.
With COVID, it's never going to come out.
But yeah,
it's been in development for how long now?
Oh god, 6-7 years at least.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
hope you see all 6-7 years as like styles, artists, and animation techniques change throughout the movie.
Oh, I would love to.
That might actually be.
That would be
kind of
cool. Probably be.
if that was the case, but it probably isn't.
Coolest meta anime ever.
It's just Pop Team Epic, but like with angst.
Oh god, that'd be so good.
I don't even understand this image I saw on Twitter earlier. I'm just posting it in the chat. There it is.
Yeah.
It's a joke for John specifically.
He's just an angry boy.
That-
Have you listened to Ratitude, Eleanor?
No.
That's for you Weezer fans to figure
Yeah.
out.
Okay.
Ratitude is a Weezer album. It is not the worst Weezer
Not the
album.
worst though. Yeah. That's one thing you can say about it.
Now I remember something. New Neil Cicierega dropped.
yeah.
Mouth Dreams, I think it's... Mouth Dreams? Yeah.
Yeah, Math Dreams.
Because there's... I think the final two songs are basically the magnum opus. I think one of them is Beethoven's Arula with Hit Me Baby One More Time. And the very last one is a Weezer song with In the Hall of the Mountain King.
Oh wow. That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, I haven't even heard much of Weezer, but just listening to that was like I was in sheer awe. I think Off the Mouth Quadrology is it now? I think Mouse Mood was my favorite because they like really strong ones. But the new one also has like a few bangers, like SpongeBob mixed up with Queen's We Will Rock You. And one that killed me straight was That's Amore, but remixed that the lyrics start to make other senses. Not going to spoil the joke, but that's a really good one. Yeah, so New CCA also came out. Not as strong as the other ones, but they good.
I liked the song that was Chili's Baby Back Ribs, but with everyone.
That was really good, actually.
Oh,
I didn't get all the way through the album, but I did.
That was
listen
a
to
good one.
No, I mean, I think I said this on the last Neil Cicerega album, Mouth Moods or whatever. Not really my thing. It's okay. We need him to make another Lemon Demon album, honestly.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Didn't he announce something like that he was going back to Lemon
I
Demon?
think he might announce that he worked on it, but he also worked on the last
maybe.
Spirit Foam album for how many years? 10 years or something like that. So.
Oh boy.
This is the longest GARcast so far.
Oh God, how long have we talked? I was expecting
yeah.
it to be so short.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, we're nearly 3 hours. Oh boy, this is going to be fun editing. Then I think that rounds it up for the year. What a year. I hope the next one is better.
Joke's on you, it's going to be way worse.
Yeah, but at least I think we all sort of at least watched and played and listened to a lot of good stuff. We had slightly a little bit more time. Stressed out time, but at least time.
Thank you, video games.
Thank you,
Yay.
Video
Thank you,
James.
video games.
Video juegos.
Very good. So yeah, that leaves us to say thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed all of our nice talks and recommendations. I think I also want to go out as the founder of this podcast to say very important things, such as Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter also. And please wear a mask and wash your hands. Just please. We want this whole stuff to be over as soon as possible.
Please wash your hands.
Wash your hands in general.
Yeah. Wash your hands so I can fly back over to the UK and personally fight J.K. Rowling.
Oh yeah, please. Give her an extra body slam.
Yeah, it's the Scottish independence on the line. If I defeat her, we can finally end this whole charade.
Yes. Very good. So yeah, this has been the usual GARcast round, and that was Ellie.
Bye-bye.
And Boris.
See ya, fuckers.
Hey. Tom.
The length of this show is proof that we just kind of need to talk more.
Absolutely. There will be hopefully more to come next year. And me, Eleanor, I was also here. So, closing statements from everybody. I'm just happy to have you lads. Happy to be here again and to hopefully do
Likewise.
more the next times in the next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think I chanted several times on Twitter, Trashcast.
Oh, yeah, we definitely have to.
But yeah, no, look forward to, at some point, Copcraft review, possibly Sherlock
Yes.
review, because god fucking damn it.
Oh,
Eleanor
God.
got me to rewatch this.
I have many opinions that need to get out. Definitely.
And Ali has been arrested for being British, so, I mean...
I have.
It's all looking up.
Have to record via payphones in prison.
Honestly, with COVID, that might be safer.
Might very well be.
At least you get fed, huh? I will stop before I say anything more controversial.
You do get fed, but it's all British food.
Beans are good,
Oh,
okay?
no.
Beans on toast, pretty good.
Good. Okay, so then I think that has been all from us. And we say goodbye and see you next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.